Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you for that, Mike. Looks like I was talking into nothing. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with me while I had no sound on YouTube. That's embarrassing. I'll start over. Good morning, Algo artisans. All right. It's gosh darn it, it's 8:32 a.m. So I was talking for 2 minutes into dead air. Great. I don't know how that happened. That's unusual. Why would do that to me? But let's go ahead and take a look here at the NASDAQ. Look, quarter two is open. The need to let me see. Yeah, talking to the void. Well, I hope you can hear me now. Can you guys hear me now? Sound check. Let me know. Larry says I'm still talking into the void, but I unmuted. I was muted. So can you hear me now? Someone give me a sound check. Yes, thank you, Mike. Okay, good. So NASDAQ following the plan. Okay, that's what the original Sunday video said. Now I think it's going to dip a little bit deeper than the plan, though, right? And where might it go? Yeah, the best thing we can do is just look at former, sports. We have a support down at 22,595. The high time frames are still bullish right now, right? So if I were to take a look at like the the weekly, what have you, those are still bullish. But I think price might just need to take a bit of a break, take a breather, right? I do think price might make it, and this is going to be a while, but I think 25,000 or just below that is in the cards. But that might not happen till the fall. It might happen in 2 weeks. It's really hard to say, right? But quarter two just began today. So the need to hold price at a certain level, because perhaps a lot of people positions for their options or whatever, what have you, a lot of their positions, options closed, 2 weeks ago. So it would just be that their portfolios need to look good for the end of the quarter. And that depends on their fiscal year, but usually the end of the quarter is going to have some form of chicanery, right? So long story short, I think it's going to head down probably might not make it down to 22,600, right? It might not. If I was just to kind of take a less extreme, or not extreme, but another target could be 22,720 or 22,660. Those are two price could go to. Look like what's going to happen is going to be a significant retracement right now. But remember, in less than an hour, in about 55 minutes, we're going to have Jerome Powell and other major central bank heads talk. It's going to be the Bank of Japan Governor Ueda, Christine Lagarde, and the forgive me, Switzerland, I don't remember your central bank head, and your central bank head is important. It's not because I don't think they're important, but they're all going to talk all at the same time. So could be a pretty crazy day. Could be Jerome Powell says XYZ, and all of a sudden everything, runs another way. We'll see about it. We'll see how that goes. I think now that the quarter is finished, a lot less concern is going to be occurring for holding the price at a certain level. So price might actually head down a bit, and this prediction that I drew should hold. We'll see. And, that's going to be, I think after midday today, I'll do some new predictions to share with Algo Factory. But let's go ahead and move on. I think people probably want to see Bitcoin. Bitcoin not going how I thought it would. So it looks like the end of the quarter blues are hitting Bitcoin. So this prediction, not so good. And it didn't really it did well at first. So what I'll do is, once the central bank heads are done talking, I'll reframe these predictions, and we'll start fresh and share with Algo Factory. But I do think, let's just take a look right now. I'll do some reframing. Yeah, you know what? It's bullish high time frame. Bitcoin is almost always bullish high time frame. That almost never changes. But I am seeing in the daily chart a chance to take a break. So you know what? Sell in May and go away might finally take effect if we do see a major retracement. And I mean major, not major, but let's just say commensurate with the time frame, right? So, let's just say that this looks like, well, you could see price go down as low as 95, 96,000. I would venture to guess 98,000. If we do see a pretty big retracement, it would be 98,000. It's possible, but it's also possible the price could just not do that. It might only go, let's see here. And we're talking about something that would happen over days or weeks, right? So we're not talking about, so, and no, that's given that Jerome Powell doesn't say something that's remarkable. But here's what I would do. I would take a fib of the most recent move up here. And so the retracements might be, V's here. Good morning, V. How you doing, bud?
Hey, good morning, man. How are you?
Doing good. Let me share the screen since we changed the format here. For the first minute or two, I was talking into dead air. When you start these things, it mutes you, but then it unmutes you once the show begins. But for some reason, that stayed muted. So I was just talking to dead air for a minute or two. That's fun. Hate that stuff. Hate it. All right, don't hate it. I think that Bitcoin in the immediate near term could head down to about 104,000. I'm just using fib levels. Let me see if I can grab a little bit more data on this, and then we'll probably have to head over to the live lab. Give me just a moment. It depends how much time we've got. V, while I'm doing this, how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite swimming. I'm trying to understand and read through the big, beautiful bill so we can talk about it at 11 a.m.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The big, beautiful bill.
The big, beautiful bill, that's what I'm looking at.
I'll tell you what that really is, if you ask me. He needs to get that through.
Yeah, you broke up, man. I don't know if that's you or me, but you broke up.
The audience hasn't complained about my sound since I unmuted.
Probably me.
Yeah, you sound fine though. But either way, the big beautiful bill is something he has to get through so he can enact the rest of his agenda. Right? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
You said you have a gay agenda. I heard that.
Yes, I have a gay agenda. Absolutely. It's all about the gays. It is gay month, isn't it? Oh no, it's over. Okay, so look, Bitcoin, I think in the immediate near term could go down to the strongest.
What's BTC at right now?
It's at 108.
Yes, it's bouncing, dude.
No, it's almost at 110.
It's in that range lock that we talked about. The sell in May, go away, then it goes to that range lock. But the sell in May, go away didn't happen. Now it's just, I guess we're just going to be the range locked.
Well, yes.
Maybe some tips down.
In a way, sell in May and go away kind of can happen. I'll show you on a higher time frame. But in the immediate term, I think the strongest place for it to go is like a 382 fib matched with this volume node. It's going to want to go to 106,200. If it and I think it will. Like, it's right now at 106. I was looking at the wrong thing here. 106,480 is where it is, and I think it's going to go down to 105,250, and I think it's going to. That's the strong node, 105 or so, and I think it probably will continue down until it gets to maybe 102. It might front run that at 103, and then in the near term, like say in the next, what's this, going out to next week, it may test 98. It may make its way down to 9.
Yeah, I can see that.
And now we talked about 98. You know what I think happened? I think a couple things. I think it was being held up, partially because I think a lot of energy was going into holding prices up during the conflict in the Middle East. I also think, and this is something where hopefully you could get like Tom Luongo onto the Rogue Show to have him explain what's going on with the bond market. But what's happening is a lot of money has been retreating, according to him, and that's a smart dude. He understands the plumbing. A lot of money's been retreating to like currencies because everybody's panicking. Like, look at the euro. The euro just continues up. I called the euro perfectly on that's my Sunday video call. That pattern right there. My forex calls are pretty dank right now. So that's like, look at that. And I didn't fucking. I mean, gosh, excuse my language, but it doesn't get much better than this. Like on forecasting, but people are going to their own currencies possibly because they're panicking because they need to shore everything up at home. And Europe is in big trouble, and not a lot of people know it, but they are. So why are all these dollars, like the dollar right now is relatively weak, you know? And that's an odd thing. But here's the thing: the world is being also flooded with dollars, and that's because I think that all this trade has to happen. The euro dollar system is gone, right? So now the world is panicking. They need the dollars. So the dollars are being created however they can outside of the US system, or at least the ones that they've stored away are being brought out to play. So you have this huge supply of dollars and they're trying to hold the dollar down. So, you know, I think that's what's going on. I'm not totally sure about that. And I think, again, Tom is better at that kind of stuff. I'm more of a chart guy. So we'll leave that be. Back to Bitcoin, though, I would expect, again, I'd expect a test of 98. And if you zoom out, it could go a bit lower. And that all depends on how this quarter opens up. Today is quarter 2, day 1. And we all know that now, while a lot of asset managers and banks and other companies might have a fiscal calendar that is different to the calendar, like the yearly calendar, the normal calendar we all use, their fiscal year might not end until October, right? But when you're displaying your numbers to the world, I do believe the calendar quarters matter. And so, you know, we had the options expiration a week or two before. I think it was like a week and 2 days before the calendar end. So that's an important day for prices. And it was the biggest options expiration in history. It was a week before last Friday. Now, here's what you got to know about options expiration. These are bets. This is where the big money plays, right? The big money plays in options expiration or options in general, because you can only cram so much money into the stock market. But with options, you can control large amounts of money with smaller amounts of money. So this is how they lever up, and they make a ton of money in options. Now, if they are underwater on their positions and the options expiration date is there, that means that everybody loses, because these large players, they probably all bet pretty similar, right? So they're all using a lot of the same intel. They're basically operating based on what I almost can guarantee. They're being told what's going to happen with policy, right? So they have the intel. They're not always the best traders, but on a very large kind of game, they win. They always win. So that being said, I think price where it needs to be is gone, and it's going to be gone for like at least a month and another 3. I think price might sail down and even continue this pattern and make its way all the way down to 98. That's 98 is a good area because you have this kind of blip right here, and you have this blip right here. So that's why I say Bitcoin 98, and it could happen in a few weeks. So that's quite possible. But that's all I got for now for the live lab. So can you get us over to the private?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, listen, join us over at the private lab where you not only learn how to trade, but learn to build the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And with that being said, you also get some real good geoeconomical market insights of where the market is, where it's going to go, track it before it happens, and profit from it. Join us, algofactory.tech. Take it away, cowboy.